Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Every year, millions of people no longer able to work turn to the government for Social Security disability payments. But most applicants are left stranded, their claims denied or delayed. Armen Keteyian spoke to the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration about a system that some say is failing the disabled.
What do you say to the people that have stood in that line, that 3-year line?
Well, I don't have a defense. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it should have been allowed to happen. So we're probably not going to be able to drive the backlog down at the rate that it went up, but we're sure as hell going to try.
Well, it's not easy for some of the people that are going through this process.
No, it should be easy because there are hundreds of diseases and conditions where we know by the nature of the disease or condition that someone is disabled when they walk in the door, and the only answer should be, let me get your check to you quickly.
But that hasn't been the case.
It hasn't been the case, but we've got it up and running now.
You've got 66% of the people getting turned down on the front end, and you've got 60% of the people that make it through the system getting approved after a hearing on the back end.
About 1 million people a year accept the decision at the state level and walk away and don't appeal. So it's a relatively small percentage of the contested cases. A lot of people walk away, Michael, because they're overwhelmed with the system. I'm sure that happens. But there are also a lot of people that don't meet our standards, and when they go and consult attorneys, the attorneys tell them that they don't meet our standards.
Are you aware of the level of desperation
Absolutely.
in America right now with this?
Well, and it's not an abstract thing for me. I've been through this, okay? So my father, when he was a year older than I am now, had a massive cerebral hemorrhage, and I did all the paperwork to put him through the process.
Were you one of the 2/3 that was rejected off the bat?
No. My dad was comatose, and he died a year later.
The other side of that equation, the argument goes that you've got inconsistent examiners, you've got inconsistent policies, you've got these paper reviews in which people can't get a face-to-face visit with a doctor who could look at them and say, you know what, you are sick, you are disabled, you can't stand on your feet for 8 hours.
To some extent that's true and is always going to be true. You have to understand this is the largest system of justice in the world. We're going to be handling 26 million cases over the next decade.
And is that why you have a backlog of 24,000 cases in cities like Atlanta?
The biggest, there have been a combination of things. The agency has not managed the process as well as it should. It's been too slow to embrace expedited procedures, technology.
Some would say, Michael, that's a vast understatement.
Well, that's part of it, but I think a big part of it, too, is that Congress has bled resources out of this agency for a long, long time. And just under the President's budget in this administration, we're almost $1 billion under what the President has recommended.
So the people that have paid into this system, believing that there would be a safety net there for them, now get well, there just isn't enough money.
Well, I think that that's right, and I think that it's shameful. And I've been a big advocate for this agency. I've gone up relentlessly to explain that there's a direct connection between the backlogs that they've complained about and the underfunding.